Hello, and welcome back to Of the People. I am Robert Chernin, and
I'm Ericka Redic.
And you are so well. You know, I want to just segue a little bit to AI because there's some other important stuff to talk about. But before we do, you know what I'm left with from our last segment on Pride?
What?
And I'm not anti-gay,
Yeah.
but don't you remember when gay used to mean happy?
Yes. It's all about commandeering the language. That's what it's about.
And you know, I'm going to give you a pass. We're not going to name the 7 virtues, but I can tell you that 2 of them I'm not really good at, right? Well, actually, I am good at, but not that good. Patience and diligence. So I'll let you figure out the other ones. My family would say probably that I'm diligent, but not very patient, which is probably I could do better. So AI is back in the news. And particularly Google is back in the news. So Google now has their own AI chat thing called Bard. As in the Bard, you know who the Bard was, right?
I'm trying to. Why is that familiar? Wait.
The Bard was Shakespeare.
Oh yeah. I'm like, why do I know what
Bard.
that is?
Because you were around when Shakespeare was around. He was like,
I was. I just, I use oil of Olay.
Right. Either that or you're an Egyptian, princess with scarabs to keep you young.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So Google now has their own AI, which is called Bard, and has raised concerns that, let's be honest, Google is sort of the all-knowing, all-powerful mega corporation. We've never seen anything like this. And the concern now is that with AI in there, that they will control all messaging. I think they did a study in 2020 where Google controlled, I want to say 90 or 95% of all social media ads or messaging in the world.
What?
Right.
Oh, that's not
before
good.
They got AI.
Oh my God.
So it's their ability to control this that concerns me. And I'll tell you why what really triggered me. I get triggered so easily these days. When you're as thin-skinned as I am, folks, it don't take much. So there's an article that says, you know this whole thing where your phone tracks you?
Yeah.
And you can turn it off?
Right.
Do you know they found a second way that Google tracks you that nobody knows about?
What?
It's through Google Photos.
Oh yeah, the geo-tracking tags on your photos. Yeah, totally.
Right, but you've got to go. But so most people don't know that, folks. So if you look it up, you've got to go into whether it's an iPhone or whether it's an Android phone. You've got to go in because they will track you through the photos. Even if you turn the location off, they're going to track you. And anybody who gets into your Google account, which is really not that secure, right?
Yep.
Can track you. So folks, take a look.
Right.
Call me a liar if you want,
Nope.
but you'd be wrong.
Nope.
Right.
No, you can't. We literally, I'm not even kidding you. When Benjamin and I go out and we do location scouting, that is actually a thing, because especially in rural areas of the country, whether it's Texas, Oklahoma, Alabama, any of the places we've gone, we turn that function back on to take the picture, so it will tag where we just were, so we can go back and find it again. It is sketchy as all get out. It is super sketch. And if you use Google Maps at all, I remember the first time I got a report from Google back about, look at all the places you'd been. I was like, why are you keeping track of that?
It's scary. Right. Like it's scary. Like sometimes you just have a conversation with a friend or a family or whatever, and all of a sudden you start seeing stuff on your phone.
Oh yeah,
that's listening. And
Google
and I don't have
ads.
Alexa or anything else here. Right. But let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
We have antitrust laws.
Yeah.
On the books, and I think it's a fair assessment that we have never seen a company, a behemoth, that controls so many aspects of our lives and society than Google. In 1920 or whatever, we broke up Standard Oil.
Yep.
We broke up AT&T.
Yep.
Hell, we even broke up Kodak because they had too much control over the picture business back in, I want to say, the 70s. Is it time for the government to break up Google, that they're too strong, that they're too powerful, and they control too much?
Absolutely, Robert. This is one of my main complaints during the Donald Trump presidency and our current Republican leadership. I really like a lot of the representatives and senators, the Jim Jordans, the Chip Roys, the Freedom Caucus. Why are we not seeing antitrust suits? Why are we not seeing these monopolies broken up? If you guys say you care about the American people, Amazon should not own 80% of the servers that your websites and things like that are loaded and saved on, owned by Amazon. Why? That is absolutely wrong. It is absolutely wrong. It is egregious, and they need to be filing antitrust suits. We need to have big tech broken up.
And you know why they're not?
Because they're cowards.
Because there is no, it has nothing to do with being cowards. Fair. It has to do with money and power. It has to do with the collusion between what I would say is, let's call it big government, big tech, and to some extent big education, right? Because again, there is this false narrative that the divide is right to left, that it's the Democrats versus the Republican or the conservative and liberals, and it's not really a horizontal spectrum. It's vertical. The divide is top to bottom. The divide is not side to side.
Okay.
Right. And that's why. And think of it this way. It's funny, right? The last, I think, antitrust action, which actually didn't result in a company breaking up, but the last successful one, I want to say, is in the late 70s, early 80s, which against Microsoft, by the way, who lost the antitrust suit.
Yeah.
But they didn't break them up because it was some technicality, and I'd have to bone up on that, right? But the last time I think we effectively broke up any corporation was really the AT&T companies into all the baby bells, which frankly was good for the country at the time.
Good for competition.
Google, the behemoth, makes the whole monopoly that AT&T had on telecommunications seem like child's play. So Google is now integrated so much into the government, and the former CEO Eric Schmidt, you should look him up. He's into, the Google is probably now spends more on lobbying in DC than any other company. I don't know that that's a fact, but it's close. I've read the numbers. I don't quite have it in my head.
Yeah.
But and there's a quote from Eric Schmidt, who was the CEO, the founder and CEO from, I want to say 2000 and whatever, like 5 to 2018, right? And the quote is, if I've learned one thing in Washington, it's that power flows from the top down, and it's all about lobbying the White House. Right? So you have big government colluding with big business or big tech in this thing. And I just think at some point, maybe there will be a senator or congressman who's willing to fall on their sword, because you're going to have to, that calls for the breakup. I mean, what are they just said, what were the two companies that they said couldn't merge because of antitrust recently?
Oh.
I'm trying to remember that.
Oh, I don't know. Good question. Because I've been hearing a bunch of stuff, a bunch of mergers and acquisitions, especially with all the bank stuff.
Well, you mean the ones that are still in business, right?
Yeah.
The other thing that this reminds me of, the one country that Google pulled out of in 2010 was what?
China.
Oh. So Google pulls out of China because China was censoring Google. And now they're working their way back into China. And because of that, Google has now agreed to do what?
Censor.
To censor their search engines.
Yep.
So they won't do it here. They certainly won't do it for America.
That's right.
Right?
You can't search Tiananmen Square. There's a bunch of terms and things like that you can't search. And of course, you've got Warner Brothers and the Disney Corporation, who have been censoring their content in China for years. They're happy to.
And about the Uyghurs and the the genocide of the Uyghurs.
That's right.
And all of those things, and anything in Taiwan, about to do Taiwan being its own nation, right? Its own country.
That's right.
Right. Here's the other thing. Google is now cozying back up to China. At the very time, there's just information out that not only do we find out that China now has not one, not two, not three, but 4 eavesdropping or spy centers in Cuba.
What?
And we have intelligence, verifiable intelligence, that China is about to set up a military base, it's a joint military base with Cuba, right, in Cuba, and in the Western Hemisphere.
Oh
So
my God. So China
Bay,
is literally setting up a military base off of the coast of Florida. Brilliant.
well,
Great.
Bay of Pigs.
Oh
Anybody?
my God. Oh, good
Right.
heavens. Lord, to help
So
us.
and it's this whole project. What do they call it? And
The
again,
Belt and
me.
Road.
I like to. No, it's not Belt and Road. It's something different. It is called Project. Hang on, let me get this right so people don't say Chernin, you're making it up. It's Project 141. And keep in mind when we're talking about our defenses. So Tampa houses our CENTCOM, our Central Command, and Miami houses our Southern Command, which is the nerve center, and and I think the Strategic Command Center is in Tampa as well. So you're talking about now setting up bases in Cuba, Chinese bases, because of course it's a joint venture, but let's be honest, China is paying Cuba billions of dollars
That's
for
right.
this. This is really simple. It's exactly what they did with, Biden Inc.
Yep.
Right? The Biden crime families. They're paying them off because money talks and BS walks or whatever the expression is. Can I say that? I can say
I think
BS.
so.
It's okay. Thank you. Don't bleep me this time. Right? So it's incredulous to me
So wait.
that
So wait. Okay. So wait. Okay. So now
ahead.
China is actually building military bases off of our southern border next to strategic bases, and they're buying up farmland around military bases within our country.
And don't forget the balloons. It is balloon. They're sending balloons over. That would be the Fakawi Indians, by the way, from F Troop, for those of you guys that remember that reference of the 60s.
Oh my, I don't even, okay. My microphone and I am not skipping right now. I am incredulous. What?
We just left Ericka speechless. Folks, write this day down. Ericka, at this day on this time, is speechless. That would be, right, June 22nd. Right? Probably about 9:50 a.m. in the morning. Ericka is speechless. Ben, you owe me.
Wow. I'm really curious what our viewers and our listeners are thinking about this stuff. If you're watching or listening in a podcast, I want to hear what you guys think about this stuff. I want you to write into the emails we provided, because this is crazy. I mean, this is
all right.
crazy.
Let's give them to again. Your email is
generallyirritable@gmail.com.
And she's not generally irritable. She's always irritable. But so be careful. Just saying. And I am, let's give you the other one, right? Robert at coalition4america.com. We would love to hear what it is you have to say, because you can't make this stuff up.
What?
And by the way, the article does say that Beijing plans on a new training facility in Cuba. And of course, you know what the Biden administration basically said? It happened under Trump's watch. It's all Trump's fault. There have been listening stations since 2019, and Donald Trump didn't do anything about it. Is there anything? I mean, by the way, my back hurts. It's Trump's fault.
Everything is Trump's fault.
I don't know how, but
I have PMS.
He must have done it.
It's Trump's fault. What is Project 141? Do we know that everything is Trump's fault? I stubbed my toe. That's Trump's fault. Definitely Trump's fault.
All right. So
what does 141 stand for? Does that mean?
Is part of China's 141, Project 141, which is an initiative by the People's Liberation Army. If you want to talk about an oxymoron, just say People's Liberation Army. People's Liberation Army to expand its global military base and logistical support network. Basically, they want forward basing in the Western Hemisphere to challenge America's
this is not good.
Place in the world.
Yeah, this is not good. This is not good, Robert. This is not good.
So you know what'll happen, don't you? It means the deposit into Biden Inc.'s bank accounts are going to have to be bigger than they are. I mean, hey, you only paid me to send Blinken there, who, by the way, just got dressed down again. So Secretary of State Anton Blinken goes to China walks out empty-handed, dressed down, and basically all we really wanted was to establish military to military diplomatic relations again, so our military can talk to their military. Why? So there's no misunderstanding, and there's not a war by accident. And China went, yeah, no, you
Nope.
can go home.
Suck it.
Right.
Nope.
Right.
Get out.
Because this is real politics, capital R, small K.
Wow.
This is all about power politics, right? And if you are perceived to be the weaker one, then why would they do anything that's going to help us?
That's right.
China, we're talking about. Of course, then again, you could be talking about the Biden administration too, but that's a whole different conversation.
Well, and notice all the stories coming out as the Biden crime family is being exposed. All this stuff is coming out about COVID, that they were lying to us for sure. Oh yeah, we don't have those numbers. If you didn't watch that congressional conversation this week, you guys have to go watch that stuff. Maybe we'll cover that next week. But notice that all this, now we got UFOs and aliens, and oh my God, we got proof of aliens, just as the Biden crime family is being exposed and the lies and corruption within our federal government related to, Pfizer and the vaccines and all that other stuff. Do not close your eyes, folks. They want you distracted. Don't let them do it. Don't let them do it.
La guillotine, to arms, to arms. We need to storm the Bastille. Folks, thanks for staying with us. I am Robert Chernin of The People with
Ericka Redic.
We got to go. We're having too much fun. We'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.